greetings to the citizens of the world. Over the past few years, there has been an explosion in awareness like never seen before. Worldviews have shifted dramatically and key issues have come into the spotlight which would have never met such a great audience just a decade ago, such as sustainable agriculture, contaminants in vaccines and in the water supply, and mass surveillance. Many people have abandoned the idea of partisan politics and the media which supports it. Thanks to the internet, a people's media emerged and started to clear the air of the lies and deceptions that the old media had been plagued with. However, as this last election came to a close, the perspective shifted and took us a few paces backwards in many respects. Incidentally, the focus was placed on Trump rather than the issues which were being fought so hard throughout the Obama and Bush administrations. Once again, the debate has become about the integrity of those in power instead of actual real-world issues that affect everyone. Whatever you believe Trump's motives are, it's important that we don't get so caught up in arguing over something we have no control over that progress made on real issues is lost. What the country needs right now is a massive healing, and I think the best way of doing that is to learn how to set minor differences aside and work together to solve our problems, instead of looking to government to solve them for us. Whether you're left, right, something in between or nothing at all, you can always become more informed and act to make a difference in the world we live in. By now most are aware that almost all major media outlets are owned by a handful of corporate conglomerates. The current number is 6, but several of these parent companies have been attempting to merge, which could reduce the number to 3 or 4 in time. Currently Fox News is owned by Rupert Murdoch's News Corp along with the Wall Street Journal, MSNBC is owned by Comcast along with NBC, and so on. Outlets like PBS and NPR are funded partially by the government itself and partially by people like Bill Gates. This is why you will never see an unbiased view on issues like taxation or vaccines from places like these. Just spend 5 minutes watching the commercials on mainstream news shows and you're bound to see ads for pharmaceutical, vaccine companies, GMO food brands, weapons manufacturers, and more. At some point you have to come to terms with the fact that the majority of what you see and hear ultimately comes from just a few sources, maybe even one. Now, no reasonable person would think that they have anything resembling an impartial view by only listening to 1 or 2 sources of information and perspective all the time. That only leaves you with what one group wants you to know. The only way to reasonably understand something is to seek out information that you don't already agree with and be open-minded about it. You won't agree with everything you hear, but at least you'll be listening to as many sides of the story as possible before making up your mind. The best way to combat this issue is to support the independent media. The most likely place that you're going to find truthful information on a consistent basis is not from big-name news companies like Fox News or the New York Times, but from smaller media outlets with a strong code of ethics which are willing to diverge from the status quo. Clearly, being engulfed in partisan politics is not getting us anywhere. We're going to have to start listening to each other again and break the political molds in order to start caring about real issues again. Thank you for your attention. We are Anonymous.